Human rights organizations are set to travel to the Geneva headquarters of the United Nations Human Rights Council to again call the international community's attention to the continuing violations to human rights and culture of impunity in the Philippines during President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo's last 2 years in office, including the Ampatuan massacre in 2008 and the illegal arrest and torture of the Morong 43 this year. In a press conference in Quezon City last May 27, Reverend Father Rex Reyes Jr. said that they hope that the United Nations and foreign governments would continue to monitor the human rights situation in the country, given the fact that the Philippines is a signatory to the international human accords.
What is our business in Geneva this time? It is and will still be to bring before the international community the continuing impurity in our country. At hindi walang katapusan kasi. And if you will notice, every time there is a strong outrage from the international community as well as from the local, bumababa. But when we go back to our normal course of life here, at napag-iwan, lalala ulit. So it's a vicious cycle, and therefore it is important for people like us here who love human dignity to sustain our vigilance in terms of continually educating ourselves and vigorously analyzing the events as they unfold in our country. At the same time, strengthen our partnership work with partners and friends across the world.
Karapatan Chairperson Marie Hilao Enriquez enumerated the number of extrajudicial killings in the Philippines and the government's abject response.
Sa pagpunta namin sa labas, kahit mahirap ang trabaho, no? Mahirap po maglabi sa UN, pero ito ay sa ngayon talagang sinikap namin na pumunta ng Geneva. Unang-una, this is the last term ni Professor Philip Alston as Special Rapporteur on Extrajudicial Summary or Arbitrary Executions. Magre-report siya sa United Nations Human Rights Council at gusto naming makapagsalita, no? Doon sa interactive dialogue yung tawag doon sa UN after his report. Tapos meron pa ho kaming mga interventions doon sa mga UN Special Rapporteurs na magsasalita, like the Rapporteur on the Independence of Lawyers and Judges, kaya may lawyers kaming kasama. Tapos yung Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, UN Special Rapporteur on Torture.
Roneo Jigs Clamor, Karapatan Secretary General, will be joining the mission to appeal the case of the Morong 43 against their illegal arrest and detention. Clamor is husband to the Morong 43's Dr. Mary Mia Clamor.
At yung kapwa ko po kamag-anak ng mga biktima ng mga paglabag sa karapatang pantao mula sa desaparecidos, SELDA at ang Hustisya. Sa pagkakataon pong ito, we will bring the case of Morong 43 before the international community as one of the continuing violations of human rights violation under the Arroyo regime for implementing its counterinsurgency program, Uplan Bantaylaya. Last year, we already made a public statement stating that the last 2 years of the Arroyo regime are critical, and by this year, ito po yung deadline which will end this June 2010, June 30, under the term of Mrs. Arroyo. But then the case of Morong 43 is a significant example of yung continuing violation under this Uplan Bantaylaya.
Near the end of President Arroyo's term, The group is also asking the next administration to prosecute the Arroyo administration for its numerous human rights violations. This is Jonna Balagat, reporting for Kodao Productions.